Good morning. It's a very good morning. It's a Friday, by the way, and we are welcoming you to our Farmers Media here at our Farmers Breakfast. It is the Friday, yani
Friday.
mchezo. Like we have just started, no sooner had, and we are already in Friday.
On Friday.
Yes.
Just the other day was fast.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? I'm good. Apart from the cold, I'm perfectly okay. How are you?
I'm fine. We thank God.
What's new? How come you are here today, Mom?
I don't know.
You managed?
I don't know. I've managed, but it's the Girls' Friday. What do you think?
Okay. Today's Girls' Friday.
It's Girls' Friday.
Okay. You're taking me out for nyama choma.
Do you?
It's that month, so my salaried friends,
salaried.
You, so you're going to take me out for nyama choma.
Greet them well. Why are you greeting people with money with just disrespect?
Good morning, my salaried friends.
Yes. That's not even a good take, by the way.
Good morning, my salaried friends.
Salaried friends. How are you?
It's that time of the month.
How are you? Please, how are you?
You know, but the thing with the salary, you're paid today, tomorrow you don't have money.
No, not even tomorrow. Like today in the evening, you don't have anything.
You don't have the money.
So you're like,
it's already used.
Back to square one.
You're waiting for the salary for that month, and you have 5 weeks away.
Yeah, it's a very long week. I mean, a long month, especially if you're paid at the beginning of the month.
Yes.
And then you have to struggle all through the month because the salary just it came as it went.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's that. But it's March.
Yeah.
Which holidays do we have in March? None, really.
I think Ramadan is coming soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this
But
March,
now you'll have to eat well when they are finished.
When they are finished, they've already finished fasting.
Yeah, okay. So Ramadan is coming up.
Yes. So that's the holiday thing that we have right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. So it's a very good morning from here in our Farmers Media. I'm Diana Mdega.
I'm Masike Munto. Welcome to the breakfast show here at our Farmers, where we connect, learn, and grow as we tell the story of a farmer. Ndiembo, I don't say African farmer. So as we tell the story of a farmer, because we have farmers everywhere in this world.
And they're not just like African farmers.
No, they're not just like African. Everyone is a farmer. So as we tell the story of a farmer. Yes.
A farmer. Thank you so much. You can contact, you can actually get in conversation with us through our hashtag or our main Twitter handle or our other Instagram. That is Farmers Media, and in Twitter, Farmers Media _ So you can get the conversation going. It is a very good morning. It's a cold morning, and it's a beautiful morning. It's a salaried morning.
It's a salaried morning. It's a Friday morning. Weekend is coming.
Yeah, weekend is coming.
Yes.
I don't know how many
what are your plans for the weekend?
Probably sleep the whole weekend.
But you have an event tomorrow. You have an event tomorrow.
Yes, here at Farmers Media, we welcome you for the event that it is Farmers Network. Come, we learn and we grow together because we have a solution to farmers.
Yes,
because
a new solution.
A good
one, not just a solution, but a good solution to farmers.
Yes, so we welcome you at our Farmers Media tomorrow. Just make sure you stop by and learn something from Farmers Networks. We have an app that will be helping farmers to go through. It's a friend to the farmer so that it will be taking the farmer step by step.
Yeah, true.
As they are in the journey of just making sure that the production is high at the same time the farmer is still healthy.
Why we are here is for you to gain profits and just gain the knowledge.
And in the breakfast show, we make sure that it's the well-being of the farmer, by the way.
The well-being of the farmer. What are the challenges that some farmers are facing out here that they have not aired them out yet?
So in this breakfast show today, we are going to look at food security. There was this hashtag lower food prices. After a while, like that one persisted for a bit while.
But it was trending for some days.
It trended for some days, and actually I thought now this is the real thing right now. But again, it just went as it started, like nothing.
Disappeared again.
It disappeared.
And solutions have not yet been aired out.
Nothing.
The solutions.
Yes, nothing.
The food prices are still high. The farm input prices are still high.
And they are shooting. Not now that they are high. Now
it's more than 7,000 right now.
Yes, and it's going up. I think by the time people will be planting now back in Western region and even in Trans Nzoia, I think the farm input will be around 8,000.
Wow.
Yeah. 50 kgs, 8,000. I don't know what is the price of the 50 kg fertilizer in your area. You can get this conversation going. Let us know what is the price. What is the current price of the fertilizer in your region? The 50 kg one. What is the current price? Yeah,
they're selling out in the market right now.
Yes. What is the retail price when you go there? Are you that? Can you afford it? Let's start there.
How is it affecting you? The price. We just have today. We are talking about the price of the farm inputs and how it is affecting the price of food in the market.
Yes. So, do you think we are producing enough food?
I think according to a research that was done, basically in the world, we have 9 billion people.
Yes.
And the amount of food that farmers produce can feed up to 1.5 more times of the population. Let's say we are 9 billion people, so this food can feed up to it can actually feed the entire population and then half of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are just saying that we are really producing enough food.
The amount of food you're producing, it's enough. But how are we managing it?
Yeah.
And how is it reaching the market? And is it just food or is it healthy food? No, there's a difference between producing food and we have producing healthy food.
That's new.
Producing food, like there's that food that I produce that I can't sell it to the market because it's not
suitable for the consumption of human use.
Yeah, it's not suitable for it's not appealing to the eyes. When you go to the market, if you're going to choose sukuma wiki, you just don't go to those with that one. They're not healthy.
Yellow.
You don't go for that. You go for those with big leaves, greeny. That's what
grainy.
The human eye looks at.
And women love what we see.
Yeah, and women love what we see. Basically, everyone loves what they see. Just don't tell me there's fresh sukuma wiki and there's some sukuma wiki that has withered.
And then you will go for the one that has been as rotten, like
no, you can't go for that.
Yeah.
So you go for the fresh one.
Okay. So basically, food is enough for everyone.
Food is enough for everyone currently. But now the question is, with the increase of farm inputs in the next few years, will we be able to produce food that is going to feed this population?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think the conversation should start there when we are talking about the increased number of the increased farm inputs. Will the farmer really manage?
Yeah, with the farmer, because the farm inputs are increasing, which means the food prices are increasing.
Yes. So I think it goes hand in hand in such a way that if the food is going to, the farm inputs will increase in a way, food will be affected because these are the after.
Yeah, these are the after.
Yeah, so I think as much as you're producing enough food, I think there's so much to be done so that we make sure, how is it even stored in the first place?
How is the food stored? How does it reach the market? What means of transportation are they using for the food to reach the market?
Yes, so you see, if you put into consideration all this, then we might come up with, we are producing enough food, but is it really that enough that we will be able to feed the entire population?
That's true.
And then will it even be enough, surplus, to make sure that it take us through in case farmers, because with the current situation, the likelihood of farmers switching, it's very high. Yeah. Like switching to other things.
Yeah. Or a substitute work that you can do apart from farming, because you see farmers are complaining that they're not gaining anything.
Yeah, and
some
it is true.
actually risk to plant crops in the farm minus the fertilizer, of which they're not going to come out so very well.
Yeah, the output is not going to come out well because the fertilizer plays a very major and a very important role when it comes to the output. You cannot just go. It's the same person like if you go to a place. And then if you're not well dressed and then someone is well dressed, there is a very big difference.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
So when it comes to crops, it is the same. If you're not dressed well, like you're not given the fertilizer, you're not given the pesticide.
And everything. You're not being taken care of the entire time. Yes. You're in the farm, so you're not going to come out very well.
And it's not even the farmer's fault because the prices have really increased. Yeah. And the farmer found it very, very hard
to manage to buy the fertilizer, because you tend to think that this fertilizer right now it's 8,000. Previously it was at
it was around 3,800.
3,800.
Yeah, actually it started at 2,800. There was a time it was going for In fact, it was going for 1,500 years back. And then it came to 2,000. Okay,
2,800.
it stayed there for a while, 2,000. But now this election year, it's mad. The
It's
election,
almost 3 times.
yes. Okay.
Diana, before we continue,
yes.
let's give us what barabara zikwaje.
Barbara, it's not
How
today.
are roads
People
today?
don't-
It's Friday. Remember, it's Friday, so people maybe
Actually, Friday, I don't know, people get their cars and then go to work with them, I don't know. Because the other days, people are not really with a lot of cars. But, hey, Friday ni siku ya kuonyesha gari, so unapata like, hey, it's very, very mad. So I say, I've noticed traffic cops at Githurai 45 roundabout always serving Kamkunji at the roundabout at around 4 to 5 p.m. Yet, a few hundred meters in the exit of the highway into service lane, matatus have made. So police are just standing by, and then the cars are stuck. So people around Githurai, they're saying it's not really bad. And then Thika Road inbound is tight, very, very tight. Around Thika Road wanasema iko very, very tight. Alafu wanasema kwamba ni along Mombasa Road ni kubaya wazee. So huyu anasema kila wakati nikiona traffic inakuwa normal. Alafu anasema kumbe hata Thika Road hainanga jam, ni nyinyi mnapenda usingizi sana. I think this one was around this one tweeted around 5.
Oh, but 5. How many 5?
So he's saying that kumbe hata Thika Road hainanga jam, ni nyinyi mnapenda usingizi sana. So
but you know that this specific period of time but between, because you know official hours, these white collar jobs, the office jobs, you have to be at work by 8, latest 9.
Yeah.
So you know most people, a higher percentage of people are trying to reach to work at that point, and ni kama wanatokanisha wote at the same time, so there's always going to be traffic.
Okay, and there's this complaint, Kitale shuttle bus from Busia, Nairobi, overloaded with hell and carelessly driven. Arrogant driver and conductor. Over 90 people at stake here, several standing. Okay,
Wow.
so this is a long distance. I think they're picking people as they're coming into the town.
To the
so
city.
those people, they're just like, okay.
And they're driving carelessly.
They're driving
Please drive
carelessly.
safe.
Yeah.
You're not just risking your own life, you're risking a number of lives. So if you're going to drive safe. There's no trophy if you're going to drive faster, as long as you arrive your destination safe.
Yes, and then there's this one. Thika Road needs highway police patrol to be arresting those drivers who drive slowly on right side of the road.
On the
Right side, yeah. Alafu anasema, you have seen this sign? Keep left unless overtaking. Keep left unless overtaking. Okay. Like this drivers, is overtaking, but again, it's just like driving slowly.
Okay.
You're supposed to drive fast in case there's an incoming vehicle. So they say that there should be a police officer or a police in patrol to be arresting those drivers who drive slowly on the right side of the road. And then he has posed a question. Have you not seen this sign? Keep left unless overtaking. And then at the same time, Kukena Sacco yesterday overcharged this client from 300 to 500. Really?
Was heading to where?
Here anasema kindly students depend on parent pocket money. They don't have money at school. Hoping you are a parent too. Oh, that is Masharia saying that. I think yesterday Kukena Sacco, I don't know Kukena Sacco, where is it? But now they were charging from 300 shillings
to 500 because schools were closing.
Yeah, and there's this behavior that when students are closing, these are really very high.
The prices really shoot.
The prices really shoot.
Almost
And what? Okay, there is a good business. We are not disputing that there is a good business.
But if you're going to increase to a reasonable amount.
By 50 maybe.
50,
we are not advocating
at
for that.
most. Then
Actually, we are not advocating for the prices to increase when there's a lot of
it's a
people.
must,
Yes.
because maybe people think there's a market, then the demand for this means of transport
obviously
is high.
the demand is high.
So people tend to increase. But if you're to increase, be considerate.
Yeah, because these
Schools
even
are
are
closing.
students.
These are students, they're not working, they're just from school. So maybe the amount, their parents gave them a specific amount of money. So you're going to risk this child being stranded because they don't have another option. They don't have phones to communicate with their parents.
Of course. And then they're just there because they can't do anything. And then You have overcharged them the money they have, like a student calling their parents, like, mom, nimekuwa stranded hapa.
At a certain place.
And then even you don't have money, it's not like most people are being paid on around 4th, 5th. You can imagine.
So today, it's not a good day.
It's not a... Do you have anything for the weather? Like,
Yes.
will it rain here in Kitengela? In
So,
Nairobi?
You know, the other day it rained like 2 days heavily, flooding, like the roads of Kitengela were flooding. So me, I was actually prepared. So this coming month, the rain is going to be more. So I'm actually surprised that it only rained like 3 days, and the rain is nowhere close to
That's
the
what we
sea.
call splash rains.
Wow.
Like, it just comes.
So what if I just put my seeds, or I just planted my seeds?
As a farmer, you should not be jumping on the first train that you're supposed to be. Like, when it
See,
rains, now
you're
you're on
happy.
the you're
So
on
you
board.
wait.
You're on board. You're already planting. Wait
Wait
for
kidogo.
like a week. Is this rain really
coming
or it's
pima
going?
unaipima kidogo,
Pima, weka kwa
back left
mizani.
tunaangalia kwanza. So for the weather updates, Nairobi we have sunny intervals of max up to 28. There's no any signs of rain
Today.
Yeah, there's no signs of rain. Mombasa, we have sunny intervals, max of 33 degrees. Same to Kisumu with max of 31 degrees. In Eldoret, sunny intervals, max of 27 degrees. Marsabit is very sunny, max of 30 degrees.
Wow, so Mombasa is even hotter than Marsabit, eh?
Yes.
Mombasa
is hotter than Marsabit. Yeah.
These people are really suffering. In the during the day, it's very the temperatures are very high, and I mean there's a very scorching. Yani ushaichoma na hiyo juu ya Mombasa, yani inachoma, inaumiza ngozi hiyo juu ya
That's why
Mombasa.
when people go to Mombasa, they actually come back with sunburns.
And then at night there's heat. Yani
So
unaenda
actually,
bafu.
there's no need of you kujifunika at all at night.
Oh, so okay, actually in Mombasa, I think you just need food. You don't need a place to sleep. Yeah.
This food, with food, you're good to go.
Yeah, in food you're good to go because you can just sit. It is very hot. You don't need a blanket. You don't need a mattress. So you just need food.
Food
you
is
really
the most
don't
important.
need a place to sleep on.
Wow. Okay, I see that.
Yes. So, do you have idea that is the end?
That's all I have for the weather updates. Yeah, be telling you more before the end of the show.
Okay, so you, in your conclusion about if you're producing enough food, it is settled that we are producing enough food, but now those policies are the ones that are letting us down.
The policies, the food policies.
Okay, so does this really affect farmer health-wise?
Yeah, because today for the breakfast show, we're actually talking about the wellness of a farmer.
Well-being of the farmer, yes.
I'm a farmer. This is my main source of income. This is the thing that brings bread to the table. This is what feeds my children. This is what takes my children to school. And now you're telling me to plant crops without fertilizer because the prices are too high. I'm not going to risk. The prices are too high. I'm going to plant without the fertilizer. Then, or maybe I plant with the fertilizer, but my children are being sent home for school fees.
Yeah.
So it's going to affect me mentally. I might not show it, but you know, some people are affected mentally, but they're not showing it. Maybe
especially men.
Yeah,
by the way,
especially
men,
men.
it's okay to cry. It's
very
okay
much
to
okay to cry.
Yeah, just cry.
But people are considered weak. They're like, if you're a man and you're opening out, like, I'm going to open out today. I'm going to find a person to talk to. People are going to judge you. So, not all, some. So find someone to talk to. Don't suffer alone. So you find that this farmer is really affected because school fees. My main source of income is having a lot of challenges from the farm inputs, because farm inputs is a major key while planting. So they are high. I'm not going to buy it, and I need these crops to do very well because there's what competition in the market. There's a competition in the market. This means that I have to do very much well with my crops for them to sell in the market.
Yes.
If I'm not going to put in effort while planting these crops, which means they're not going to sell.
Quality comes in handy when it comes to the market.
Yeah, they're not going to sell.
No one is going to buy something that is of low quality.
Yeah. So you find that maybe someone tries to, like, the possible means, tries to find solutions, but the solutions are not there. So it affects you mentally. It affects your mental state, and when it affects your mental state, it can actually affect your health.
Yes, very well. So we are going to take a short break. Do you think it's okay for men to cry? Remember, our first question is how much is the fertilizer in your area? Because it's continuous shooting. They're blaming it on the current situation in Russia and Ukraine. So they say
But
Ukraine.
how is Ukraine and Russia coming in? Because the fertilizer are being imported from there.
Yes, they say that the main source of material. You saw there are sanctions. The country have received restriction, especially Russia. They have received
export their
restriction.
products out?
Yes, even the banks, the money when it comes to money. So they have been given so much restriction because of the current situation that is going on, the current war. So it's a bit complicated. So the speculation is the prices of fertilizer is likely to go higher, considering
Because of the
that,
situation that is.
they are the demand, just like fare, watoto wametoka shule, demand
The
iko high,
demand is high right
and
now.
then production ni low. So utapata the prices have really increased. So let us know what is the current price in your area.
And do you think that the war between Ukraine and Russia is the main reason why fertilizer are going to shoot? Or is the main reason why fertilizers prices are going high?
Okay, we'll be going through short messages there kwa comments in Instagram, Farmers Media na pale Twitter, Farmers Media _ When we get back to after the short break, we'll have more. I'm Diana Mdega.
I'm Masike Munto.
We'll be back.
Amaranthus, or locally known as terere, is a highly nutritious vegetable that is cultivated and consumed as a leafy vegetable in many parts of the world. It's easy to grow, matures fast, as it takes an incredible shorter period than most traditional crops. There are many species of Amaranthus, with some green and others red in color. When growing Amaranthus, ensure the soil is well drained and rich in phosphorus, and most importantly, ensure the seeds are well distributed to achieve an even spread when establishing a grain Amaranthus field. Amaranthus is especially loved for its tender leaves and for their healthy dose of ions, vitamins, and a range of minerals.
Mahindi yamekuwa chakula kikuu katika sehemu nyingi za ulimwengu na jumla ya uzalishaji wa mahindi kuliko ile ya ngano au mchele. Mbali na kuwa mahindi ni chakula, pia hutumiwa kutengeneza ethanoli, chakula cha wanyama na bidhaa zingine. Kunayo mahindi ya gume, mahindi ya ganda, yaani popcorn, mahindi ya unga na mahindi matamu. Mahindi yanalimwa sana kote ulimwenguni na kiwango kikubwa cha mahindi hutolewa kila mwaka kuliko nafaka nyingine yoyote. Shamba la mahindi linaweza kutayarishwa kwa kutumia njia za kawaida au za kilimo cha uhifadhi. Kilimo cha kuhifadhi ni pamoja na kunyunyizia dawa za kuulia wadudu zilizopendekezwa na wataalamu wa kilimo. Unaweza kutumia trekta au njia ya mikono kufanya kilimo cha mahindi. Ni muhimu kuandaa ardhi mapema ya kutosha kuruhusu magugu kukauka na kuoza kabla ya kupanda.
Welcome back to our Farmers Breakfast Show with me, Masike Munto.
And then I'm Dega.
We are very glad that you've tuned in. And today we're discussing about food security. And the question we're trying to ask ourselves is, are we producing enough food? And if we are producing enough food currently, will we be able to feed the population that we have currently in our country, in the world, come in the next few years?
Not just in the next few years, but next year.
Let's
just talk about next
food
year.
prices. Now I have a question. This increase or in food prices, is it affecting only Kenya? Or it's just Africa in general? It's every farmer.
Okay, in Africa, actually, the speculation, according to research, Global Unit had speculated that the number of people who are suffering from shortage of food has really increased to around 19 million people from 13 million. So
for those who are facing hunger.
Yes, those people are facing hunger in Africa. It has increased from 13 to 19 million. So the likelihood that it's not only in Kenya that we're experiencing food crisis, it's in other parts of the world, in the other parts of African countries too. So it's not something that is just in Kenya. It's something that is in the continent in general.
And as we said, according to a research, currently the world research, the world produces more than 1.5 times enough food to feed everyone on the planet.
So the food is, I think, it is just an equal distribution of resources. Okay, we might be saying, you see, back in my county, we produce a lot of food. Yes,
a lot of food.
You might find a farmer with over 100 acres of land, and this farmer does the farming with this technology. So you might find him
smart farming.
Yes, smart farming. So this particular farmer can produce even like maybe a million bag of maize. Yes, because the extensiveness of the land. But now this farmer is not even going to look at the Kenyan market. He already has a market outside. He's exporting his produce. So yes, we are producing enough. But are this farmer really selling to the?
So the problem is selling.
The problem.
The problem is reaching everyone. The problem is the market.
It's the market, because these people the place they're selling their maize, it's the prices are very friendly, it's high, and then in our country, you see, like, we have to really fight. Farmers are like, we have our maize, but you guys want to buy our maize at 2,500, and then the government comes, oh, okay, let's talk now. The government maybe regulates the price to around 3,200 or 3,000 per bag.
But you as a farmer, when you plant this maize, at what price, according to what you've spent in the entire procedure of farming the maize, the planting the maize, the harvesting, the farm inputs, the pesticides used, in your budget, what amount are you expecting to sell the bag of maize for? That's
when we come back to the fact that whatever I'm going to spend in my input, now I'll have to calculate it to make sure that I get something.
And the rough estimate is around, as a farmer, you should sell it at?
Okay, now that the current prices are very high, the current farm inputs like the fertilizer, the pesticide, all those have increased. So probably I'll sell my maize at a very high price. So there was a time that maybe approximately
a
bag of maize, if I'm going, there was a time it reached 150 per 2 kg. So if you,
which initially was 90.
Yes,
90 per 2 kg.
No, it's supposed to be around 60 bobo, around 60, around per 2 kg.
Per 2 kg 60.
Yes.
Oh.
Back in my county, that is, because we produce a lot.
Because you produce a lot.
Yes, yeah. But now that it was around 60, but now I think this time it will reach even around 200. Wow. So if it is 200 per 2 kg, then you see, and there's none. Okay, when there's
so it means a bag of maize you're supposed to sell around 5,000.
5,000, 6, 7, 8. Like it will go that high, because if I'm going to sell my 2 kgs, to sell my 2 kgs at around 200 bob, you see, and I have around 40 kgs. So you see, I'm going to get even 8,000, per bag of maize. And you see, it is very expensive because will these people really afford
that amount?
Okay, I can afford I have the maize. Actually, I'm not exploiting these people coming, the consumers. It's just that the thing is, I really have to make sure that the money,
whatever amount that you
invested,
whatever amount you invested in the planting, you should gain. Hata kama itarudi peke yake tu.
Lakini sasa kurudisha ni noma
losses.
Ni noma kurudisha, because in the first place, there's really, just think about it. If I'm going to use around 8,000 just for fertilizer, you have not put labor.
You've not put labor. You've not put
seeds are there, and pesticide. How much am I even going to invest in an acre of land? Initially, an acre of land,
a 50 kg bag of fertilizer supposed to go for like how many acres of land?
Maybe 1
acre.
Yeah.
And you have 100 acres.
I have 100 acres.
Okay, this is the Farmers Breakfast Show with me, Masi Kemunto.
And there I'm We're discussing the food security in the country. Are we really producing enough food for the country? And if the trend continues, the high input prices, will we manage
be able to feed the population come a few years? Next year, we're just trying to look at next year. And we've just posed a question. What's the amount of fertilizer in your area?
Yes, how much is the 50 kg bag of maize going in your area? Can you please talk to us in our Farmers Media? Our Farmers Media, that is our underscore.
Our Facebook page, our Farmers Media. Yeah. Then on Instagram and Twitter, we are our Farmers with a Z. And we are live currently on both Facebook and YouTube. You can still find our previous videos on Facebook. Still, they are there on YouTube. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and you can hit the notification bell.
So you can get everything that we are posting there, so that you make sure that you get everything about farming, and then you get help when it comes to production. So in our Farmers Media, we always connect, learn, and grow. That's our aim.
You're going to read a number of feedbacks here. We have Gideon Aliero. He's saying that the problem is not the market. The problem is proper storage. We produce maize at the same time because we use rain-fed agriculture. Now the price of a bag of maize is about 4,000 to 4,500. When harvest season comes, it will cost up to 1,200 per bag. Farmers will quickly sell because they don't have the capacity to do proper storage. Hence, the maize is spoiled with aflatoxin.
Yeah, you remember
so
the
problem is not the market. So Gideon here thinks the problem is not the market. The price of a bag of maize should actually cost between 4,000 to 4,500.
A bag of maize.
Yeah, you have 100 acres of land. No, let's just use a realistic amount. You have like 3 acres of land.
Yes.
And you've produced around, let's say 50 bags of maize. But the storage of that maize first, and you're not going to store it for such a long period of time because your storage is not that good, and you are afraid that this maize may be affected. And so when the government or when someone comes up with any amount of money, so your budget is 4,500, but someone comes up with 1,200, so you're going to sell it at that price.
He's right. I concur with him because actually, and I don't know what happens, because every time we are about to harvest, there's that rain that just comes from nowhere. Inaozesha mahindi. So you find out that I really harvested a good amount of maize, clean maize, but now there's that rain that just came from nowhere. So maybe half of my maize is spoiled. This one I can only sell at maybe a bag full. I can sell even at 500 shillings. Because imeoza, it's not fit for human
consumption.
Just
like throwing it away.
Yes, so like I'm just throwing at a throw. Actually, it is always at 20 to 25 bob per 2 kgs back in my place. So you find that I'll sell this price. I'll sell a bag of 90 kgs of spoiled maize at around 500 shillings. And you see, this maize I harvested it very well. So storage. And at times we store, na unapata mahindi imeanza kuoza.
So you're like, I'm not going to risk to lose all these bags of maize. Let me just sell it at a throwaway price. At least I get something.
Yes.
But it's not whatever amount of money that you invested in that particular farm.
Yeah, it's not the amount of but now you are looking at it. Yes, I really invested a lot on the farm. But if I'm going to stay with this, then I'm going to lose it all. So what is the next step I do? I just make it like throw it away at a throwaway prices. Farmers are really suffering because they have to go through all this. They have to put up with high farm input. They have to put up with the bad market, and at the same time they're being blamed
for the high food prices.
They're being blamed for the high food prices.
That it's the fault of the farmers that the food prices are going high.
It's not the fault of the farmers. Yeah, let's look at the policies. Is the policies in place? Like we started lower hashtag lower food prices. When initially we could have started the low farm inputs so that the farmer will
be able to at least be able to buy these farm inputs, and therefore the price at which the products are being sold in the market, it's quite affordable.
Yes, thanks Gideon for contributing to our conversation. We really thank you so much. And we are still asking how much is the bag of 50 kgs, because the conversation is a bit forgotten. How much is the price of a 50 kg fertilizer? So talk to us. We don't care the brand, just say tell us.
Just the price.
Yeah, just the price. How much is it going at your area, so that we'll know and see if is there really something that farmers can really do about this,
the prices.
And even following the current situation in the country, this is a trend. Every time that we are almost in general election, you find out that the farmers, not even farmers, everyone has to pay the price of having a general election.
Because not the prices, the food prices, the oil prices, and everything is going high.
Yes, everything is going high. Recently, I was checking. Yesterday, I was checking. I was in the supermarket. I was checking the price of cooking oil, and it really broke my heart.
You're like, will I die? Will I die?
Actually, the price of sugar, the price of cooking oil, I think the only thing that I saw that it was a bit cheaper, it was salt. Yes. Am I going to use salt? I don't even need salt to do that.
You don't actually buy salt every month.
Yes, because it's big. I think it is 2 kg. It is sold around 50 shillings or 55 or 60. That is the 2 kg salt. 2 kg sugar is going around 300, from 25 to 300. Because 1 kg of sugar is going around 140, 150. Yeah, it depends. If in this, then the retail shop, it goes for between 140 to 160. So in the supermarket, it's going for the 2 kg of sugar, it's going for around 280 something. So, and they're saying the prices are likely to shoot. You tell me, are we even going to afford mafuta peke yake naona mzigo kununua
Just the other day I was seeing a meme. Someone is holding 1,000 bob. When you open your hand like this and close, it's already 200. When you open again and close, you have 10 bob in your hand. That's just 2 hours and you had 1,000 bob.
I thought just take 1,000 bob and go to the supermarket and tell me how much, how many things are you, how many commodities? Okay, let's talk about the basics one. How many commodities are you going to come out? Let's say you are taking 2 kgs each.
2 kg
okay, you're going to take 2 liters of cooking oil. You're going to take 2 kgs of sugar.
That's and enough. You don't, and a shopping bag. Your money is over.
So you're telling me that if I go to a supermarket with 1,000 bob, I'm going to get out with 2 commodities
plus salt and the shopping bag. And
that salt will last for like 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months or more.
Like, are we going to starve simply because our policies are this bad? Because even those people who could afford the good, let's say quality food, now their quality is at stake. Because right now, if I find out that there's sugar that even has toxic substances,
but it's cheap.
It is cheaper.
People are going to buy.
People are going to buy. So the health of people is at stake again here.
I think another problem, with farmers, because I think, you see, farmers are complaining of proper storage. If the government could, if I could actually be having a ready market.
Yes.
I know that the moment I've harvested my 50 bags of maize, the moment I have these bags of maize at my disposal,
yes,
they're going to sell. I'm not going to stay with them more than 1 week or 2 weeks. You have a ready market. But now the problem is maybe the government is importing. It's not supporting the local farmer. Ule mkulima wa mashinani. Like, the government should rather import food substances from outside than buy from a local farmer. That's why we have a perfect maize flour called Kana.
Good.
So this Kana maize flour, it's supporting the local farmer. They are importing their maize from yule mkulima mashinani uko ndani kabisa. So they come, they take your maize and they're going to produce it with flour. They're going to produce flour with it, and it's quite cheap. We have a 2 kg bag, 1 kg bag, and actually 500 grams of bag. So which means if you don't have enough money to buy 1 kg bag,
It
you can
suits-
actually buy this.
It suits
500
your pocket because
it suits your pocket.
yeah,
and
because you have a 500 grams, 1 kg and 2 kg. So Kana is here for you to make sure that you can at least afford a meal. And look at the packaging. Isn't it beautiful?
it's perfect.
It's perfect.
I can actually buy the maize flour, not just considering the content inside, but because of the packaging.
And I can also just buy the maize flour because when I'm done with the what is inside, I can actually display there because it looks even flowery. Just look at the packaging. It's very, very efficient. So make sure that when you go to the store nearby you are getting a packet of Kana flour because it is sifted and then it's natural. It has not been added substances and it is very, very efficient and it gives you instant energy. By the way, there are those people who just take ugali in the morning. So
Actually, according to health experts, breakfast should be the heaviest meal you're consuming.
Oh, I'll sleep the whole day if I try.
Breakfast should be the heaviest meal that you should consume.
Yeah, so make sure you take Kana.
Then lunchtime you just
one.
take slightly, not just slightly, just a slight meal. Then if possible, supper, you
Just
should just
drink
eat maybe fruits, just take salad. You should not take...
I've never eaten
you
rice
have-
and then tried to sleep.
Yeah.
How was it?
It's just, okay, for me it's just normal. Don't say you'll get sick at night and you'll have to just start to gunanisha sufuria
You
usiku.
see, back I used to. There was a time like we just ate rice and then we went to sleep. I was
So that means you can't eat rice for
no.
supper.
I can't eat rice for supper. Really, I
Like
can't.
serious. Now we're talking on a very serious note. Diana, tell us that you can't eat rice for...
I cannot eat rice for supper.
Why?
That is not even food. Like
It's just a normal carbohydrate.
No. You're not.
I can't
cannot
convince you out of that.
Because I have really to eat well because that I was telling you we once cooked rice with stew and then we ate with my sister, my two sisters. We were staying together by then, and then at night I realized that people are not in bed. Like, where are these people gone? The lights are not on. So I decided to go, like, where are these people? I found them like they're eating again in the middle of the night without lights on. And you see, when my aim was, like, the reason I had woken up is because I was
feel if
very...
they're awake, then you wake up and go and eat.
See, these people have just tiptoed out of the bed and they're eating from... And then the lights are off because they don't want me to know
That they're awake.
Actually, my aim was also to go and eat because I was really hungry. And then nimepata wamenipita, so
Waliamka mbele yako.
waliamka mbele yako. So make sure when you go to a store nearby you take Kana flour because
It's a perfect maize flour.
It's a perfect made flour.
tamu.
The packaging is set, like it's very beautiful. Make sure you take Kana flour to make sure that your household is well catered for because this is the flour that has been, it supports a local farmer and then the way it is sifted and then even the aroma itself.
It's sweet.
It's sweet. So make sure you take Kana flour because Kana flour is the one that has supported the farmer and it is very, very
Not the fact
helpful.
that it supports a local farmer.
Yes.
That's the most
Naturalness.
important. You should, if this Kana maize flour, they're willing to support you as a farmer, why shouldn't you support them?
Yes, if they're willing to support you as a farmer, you should really support them. So when you get to it's available in all leading supermarkets countrywide. So make sure that when you go to the supermarket,
Find
look at Kana flour and then try it, taste it, and then come back with the result. Because me, I've tried it, I've tested, I have the evidence.
You're giving us a testimony.
I tested it.
So the good thing with it is that, you see, for example, there's a time of the month, like you're broke, and you need to eat. And the least amount of flour that you can get is 1 kg. But you don't have that money to buy the 1 kg flour. But with Kana flour, they have a 500 gram that you can just pick some few coins from the house and go buy.
Yeah, so make sure you get Kana flour because this one support the local farmer, the naturalness, the way that it has been sifted, you are good to go. So make sure you get a packet for yourself and then things will be good to go. Remember, this is Farmer's Breakfast and I am Diana Mudege.
And I'm Masike Munto.
So we'll be going for a short break, and when we come back, we'll be looking at more of the food security, the impact, and then the wellness of the farmer in all this. Okay, continue joining us in the conversation, and then we'll be very, very, very glad to hear from you. What are your thoughts?
Agrovet shops are important outlets where farmers can easily get seeds, pesticides, and other farm inputs that are vital for successful crop and animal production.
Agrovets are very key to society because you find that the agrovet attendant is the closest person, is the closest expert that you have who can advise you on the product that you can use on what crop.
Agro dealers and their agents assist farmers in providing quality inputs. Here are some of the guidelines that appropriators should look out for before starting an agrovet business. Choose a location that is suitable and does not pose any undue risk to people and the environment.
When we are licensing the agrovets, we look at the physical structure of the facility, whereby the facility should be well ventilated, it should have enough space, should have shelves.
Business location is an essential factor to excel in agrovet business. Agrovets thrive well near agricultural farms. You need to consider the competition in the area. An appropriate agrovet shop has several qualities including accessibility to customers, security, adequate storage space, ventilation, adequate water supply. When starting your agrovet business, it is important to ensure you have a neat display that communicates reliability and credibility. Ensure you can distinguish between genuine suppliers, seeking out accredited dealers to avoid buying counterfeit goods. Obtain a license from the requisite regulators such as the Pest Controls Board and displayed prominently on the premises. To kick off a successful agrovet business, you will need to meet all the legal requirements.
If you want to get into this business of operating an agrovet, the first thing that you should do is to get into our website, whereby you can get a form, an application that is a premises licensing form, whereby you can fill the form, or you can visit either of our regional offices in Nairobi, Nakuru, Kisumu, Mombasa, and Embu. Then you are required to attach your academic certificate, and you also attach, for you to be a licensed agrovet, you must have a license from the county government.
You will need a county business permit. This is the common permit that is needed for all businesses. If you intend to stock seeds, you will require licensing from the Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Service, KEFIS.
KEFIS has come up with different measures to ensure that the produce that is placed in the market and also exported is meeting market requirement and also food safety standards. We analyze agrochemicals, that's now the pesticide formulations, to ensure that what's again being formulated and also sold in the Kenya market also meets the set specifications.
You will also need to commit yourself to not sell counterfeits by signing the Code of Conduct on Pesticide Management through accreditation by the Agrochemicals Association of Kenya. Here, members follow the Code of Conduct on Pesticide Management, which the industry uses for self-regulation. Through the code, AAK encourages the best practices for agro dealers, including responsible pesticide use and ethical business practice. Pesticides may pose risks to humans and the environment from manufacture to usage. One source of risk is during storage and handling at the point of supply to users. The pesticide should be stored under suitable conditions to maintain its physical and chemical properties until the end user receives it. Spillage could occur directly on persons handling them, contamination of food, or leakage into the environment during the various stages of transportation, loading, unloading, and storage. As appropriator, you should prioritize the safety of your products. One way of doing this is through proper placement. Pesticides should not be placed directly on the ground or on areas prone to flooding. Floor spaces should be uncluttered in a way that permits easy inspection and to allow free flow of air. This also enables immediate cleanup in the events of any leakage or spills, which will be easily visible. Containers should be well arranged to minimize unnecessary handling and to avoid mechanical damage. As a general principle, systems of storage should be flexible and adaptable.
We have a curriculum that we train our farmers with, and it starts with encouraging them to adopt integrated pest management, which is basically giving them options that they can use apart from pesticides. Once they understand this, they are able to responsibly use the pesticides, because they understand that they do not need to always resort to pesticides whenever they have an infestation on their farm.
Remember, proper usage of pesticides increases yields and market access for your produce. Food safety is everyone's responsibility, starting with the farmer. Dawa bora, mazao bora.
Papai ni moja ya tunda mashuhuri kwa kiasi kikubwa nchini Kenya. Pia tunda hili linaweza kuwa na faida mbali na afya katika kukuza uchumi wa mkulima wa zao hili. Pia linaweza kuwa chanzo kikubwa cha pesa za kigeni kwa kuuza nje ya nchi. Uzalishaji wa papai nchini Kenya ni kwa kiasi kidogo ukilinganishwa na mahitaji ya watumiaji. Hivyo inahitajika nguvu zaidi katika uzalishaji wa zao hili. Zao hili limeshamiri kote nchini kwa kutoa mavuno bora. Ungana nami niweze kufahamisha bayana na kwa undani kuhusu zao hili la paipai.
Beetroot is a highly nutritious root vegetable. The beetroot is the top proportion of a beet plant. It is one of the many varieties of the genus Beta vulgaris, all of which are mostly grown for their edible taproots and leaves. Beetroot is a root crop that takes approximately 3 to 4 months to mature. Beetroot is a fairly easy crop to grow as long as the soil is well cultivated prior to planting. Beetroots do not enjoy wet, boggy or shady soils. Beetroot can be sown in trays and transplanted when the seedlings have 2 true leaves. Plant in full sun, space seedlings 10 to 15 centimeters apart, and rows 20 centimeters to 30 centimeters apart so they have room to grow. Beetroots are also ideal for containers or raised beds. Beetroots will happily thrive in small areas as long as there's at least 20 centimeters depth of soil. Beetroot has been used not only for food but also for treatment for numerous conditions.
Welcome back. This is a Farmer's Breakfast Show. With me, Masike Munto.
And Diana Mdega. We are so glad you have tuned in at our Farmers Media, where we connect, learn and grow.
So we have a campaign. Then we've not told our viewers that we have a campaign, courtesy of Markup and Unido. It's a campaign that urges farmers to use pesticides safely.
Yes,
that's
very,
hashtag
very.
safe use of pesticides. And we also have a hashtag Dawa bora, mazao bora. Yes. So you as a farmer, we are urging you, despite the high increase of farm inputs, use them sparingly. Just use the correct.
Sparingly?
Sparingly means use the correct amount. Don't use more than what has been labeled there. Use the calibrated containers. Just if it's 20 ml, use 20 ml. If it's 10 ml, don't use more, don't use less. People may be thinking that due to the high increase of pesticides
Uh-huh.
and generally
The
due to
prices of
the prices,
pesticide,
the price of pesticides. So I'm going to use kidogo ndio at least
Kusave.
no, just use the correct amount and for your safety, soma label at first, see what is written there, know how you're going to handle this specific or this particular pesticide, know where you're going to store it and how you're going to use after use.
Yeah, make
after
sure.
using.
Yeah, there are those things that you're supposed to do, like making sure that the pesticide is stored in their original containers. Don't go now and start exchanging now that you think maybe you want to use this or you want to borrow that one. So make sure it is stored in the correct containers, and always remember that it's keep out of reach of children.
Yeah,
Children like doing new things. So
trying out new things. Maybe
Yeah.
a child can come in contact with maybe a pesticide that you wrongly placed it somewhere, and maybe they try, hey, what is inside here? So
actually,
a
there was
child,
a time my son drank this washing detergent.
you see,
So
you-
bleaching one, the bleaching detergent. He drank it because he saw there and was like, "Hey,
can I taste it?
can I taste it?" So
Why is this smell so?
it was
does have
so
a
bitter
stale smell?
that he ended up spitting. But what if it was sweet?
Or what if it was? What if it didn't have a taste? So you, as a farmer, ensure that you put your pesticides out of children's reach, so it's somewhere that whereby a child cannot reach.
And make sure the containers is tightly sealed. Avoid spillage. Make sure that it does not spill where you have placed them, or when they've. The container should be tightly sealed, and this is only possible when you're using the lid that came with the container.
That came with the container. Just don't
Yes.
lose it. Lafu, another thing is you keep your pesticides out of direct sunlight, because if you expose it to too much sunlight, maybe it can affect the content inside this container. So if you're going to store your pesticide, ensure that you store it where there's no direct sunlight at all.
And make sure also that wherever you're storing, only those people who have the knowledge of it are accessible to it. So don't just access, even if it's your family, make sure that they are not able to access that place. It's only maybe in store.
It's a store.
And in a well-labeled area, like in a box, and it has been labeled pesticide. Do not touch, and be very careful, because anyway, every time I see a do not touch, I'm tempted to touch
it.
So
just store it correctly, and if possible, in your store, whatever place that you've stored your pesticides, put a washing point, or just put something
Next to
that produces running water next to it, not just stagnant water. Just you can try out maybe a kamtungi, uweke tu hapo with running water or flowing water. For maybe a person, after using this pesticide, you go and wash your hands.
And make sure that you make sure that you follow all the rules or the regulations that have been stipulated by the pesticide, to make sure that you are using it in a correct way, and you are keeping safe, so that you do not maybe come in contact with it, and then you remain safe. Kumbuka, this message is brought to you by UNIDO and also Markup.
Yeah. Market Access Upgrade Program, Markup Kenya.
Yes, in conjunction with UNIDO.
Yes.
So they are urging you that you keep safe and make sure that the pesticide do not affect you in any way, and then does not affect your family, and then you are keeping safe. So that's the message. And remember, dawa bora mazao bora.
Dawa bora mazao bora.
Hi, yeah, hashtag dawa bora mazao bora. So we continue with this conversation where we were asking, is it our fault that we are in
As
this
farmers.
situation? Is it our fault as farmers? Is it our fault as stakeholders? Is it the fault of the government?
Whose fault it is?
Whose fault?
That's a question. Another question. You can just engage in this conversation. The question you're posing right now is, whose fault is it that maybe there is high food prices, not just high food prices, the prices of the farm inputs?
Okay, and we asked that question of how much is the price of fertilizer in your area. Someone here says, Janet, say in a window it is 6,800, and then there's this one, nine cop. Simon says it's around 6,200 in my area. He has not mentioned the area. Okay, and then there's this one. Someone is saying ati kuja DAP ni free, hakuna malipo. I think he means the chama, the DAPK Kenya.
Oh.
Yeah, and then this, like obvious, there are those people who think that they can take advantage of the situation. Says, najua ya 3,500. Who need them inbox me? I think that's just a scam.
That's scam.
That's scam.
Just
When
don't
you
trust.
see, yeah.
The other day you were talking about online scammers.
Yeah. So if you think the deal is good, something is going
When
for
the deal
7,000.
is too good, think twice.
Something is going for 7,000. Someone is telling you,
That's
I can
500.
give you for 35, half the price.
When the deal is too good,
Think twice.
think
So
twice.
and then
Don't be tempted.
yes, then someone is saying that in Eldoret it is 6,800. That is 6,800. Alafu someone is saying in still in Eldoret some parts anasema it is 6,800. Alafu kuna mwingine hapa anasema Olegure anasema 6,000 in Narok. And then there's someone saying that exploitation, especially when you're buying at 2 kgs. Kuna design for 2 kgs, we refer them as gorogoro, that they're selling at 200. So you can imagine 200 times 50, that is 10,000. You see, sometimes you don't want the whole thing, like you don't want the whole 50 kg packet. So it's very, very wrong for those people who, even if they're selling, we know it's above 7,000. Actually,
it's a range between 6,200 to 7,000
Yeah.
currently right
Actually-
now. But there's possibility of the prices going higher. But the government still needs to find a solution to this, because trust me, it's affecting farmers.
very, very much. And then can we really blame it on the
government?
ongoing, because there was an article yesterday that I came across, and they were saying that the price of maize, the price of fertilizer has shot to 7,000. I think now the standard price for
Right
every
now.
place is 7,000. Like maybe 6,800, but now the standard price right now it's around 7,000 for the pack, for the one bag of mbolea 50 kg. But now, should we blame it on the current situation in Ukraine? Oh, they're just policies here, because we are not hearing complaints from our neighboring countries. So are we just taking advantage of the situation right now?
I think one thing that is affecting the prices of food and prices of everything can start off, it's the elections.
Yeah. Let's just blame it on the election and stop the Ukraine-Russia thing.
Because I've not seen our neighboring countries complaining of fertilizer prices. But one thing is, the government should know that farmers produce 75% of what Kenyans consume. 75% of the food that Kenyans are consuming is being produced by farmers. They should be therefore considerate. Know that this, whatever we're going to consume, or whatever is feeding this nation, is being produced by these farmers. And what if we make the situation worse? Or what if we're putting them in a place whereby they have to think twice of either going back to farming or finding another thing to find money for their living or for their basic needs.
You see, it becomes very tricky when you think about that, because first, these farmers, the reason, actually think for 1 second or 5 seconds, think about this. If tomorrow all farmers like down their tools, just say like no farming.
Whatever I'm going to produce, it's mine and for my family.
For my family, I'm not going to sell. And let this balance, especially if I'm producing, like, okay, I'm not going to sell even if I've been supplying to the government. I'm so done with these people. Just think it for a second. How will we be? Will the export, the imports manage to feed us?
No, they won't. You're going to have so many debts that you can't even handle.
And when there was that suggestion that the prices of imports should be tripled to support, especially for the raw materials for livestock and the products. Now it means that currently the maize, not maize, milk will go up, because those raw materials for milk, do you see those dried milk? So the CS was suggesting that the prices
go higher.
The taxes they triple the tax. Like right now they were paying 1,000. It was just a proposal 1,000, and again they wanted to go for around 3,000. So if you are going to think that direction, that maybe the imports will feed us, then I don't think even those people importing to our country will be able to manage whatever the taxes will be imposed on them. So I think the farmer should be very considerate. It should be considered in the first place.
The farmer should be considered, because this farmer is the same person that is feeding us. And if this farmer decides to do no more farming, then that's it for us. Because, for a farmer, there are some people, farming is their full-time job.
Yes.
This is what feeds them. This is what keeps them. This is what maintains them from everything, like from school fees to basic needs to everything. Farming is their full-time job, and this is where they have put all their energy, their knowledge in. And now when you're making this farmer have to have a second thought, and if I'm going to find another solution, if I'm going to find option B, then I'm going to go for option B. Because if farming is option A, then I can't manage.
Okay, so do you think next year we'll have really enough food in the country?
With the current increase, people are going to suffer.
Yes, so probability of having less food next year, do you see it?
Yeah, there's a very high chances, because let's say this season is for planting. Trust me, if last year, same period, same time as now, the period for planting crops, let's say we had 1,000 farmers planting. Trust me, this year they're going to reduce to 700 or even 600.
So probability that food will be less next year will be very high, because even look at the current and not that it happens today, but even like every time we are nearing a general election, those people, you see, there are those people who just do farming in large scale. And now that there's the politics is around the corner.
Once bitten, twice shy.
There's those people really lost, by the way.
Yeah, there's a farmer maybe who has been in this career for almost 15 years, and maybe that there's this period of election violence. Yeah. And maybe you find a farmer, let's say for example, this farmer planted 10 acres of maize, and all of it was cut down due to elections. Yes. Trust me, this farmer is not going to risk again.
It's not. He's not. So probability of
making things worse, fertilizer prices are high. So you're telling me to buy fertilizer and risk it's election. Things you're hoping things are going to go good.
Yeah, things are going to. But you see, it's just farmers are only human. They're not going to risk.
They're not taking chances.
They're not taking chances.
They're not going to risk for this. And now we're giving them the opportunity. You're giving them a clear answer: do not risk, because the fertilizer prices are high.
Are very high, not just high, very high.
It's
like you're giving them a green light, like, okay, you guys can just relax. Yeah. Because those farmers who knows that they have been there, they know that probability there will be. We are advocating for peaceful election here in a farmers media. We're advocating for peaceful election, but there's a farmer out there who has been there. Let's just say he has been there because
he has experience.
He has experience. This farmer is not going to risk it at all. If he has been farming in the areas that are prone, and it's very ironic that those areas that are experience violence, actually they have very good soil, so people have invested there. So these investors are not going to go there this particular time of the year, because they think maybe we will do the farming, and then at the end of the day we do not get what we expect. Maybe election erupts, the violence erupts, our maize stocks are cut down, or and I don't know what people think when they are destroying these crops, because this is not something you're going to use. And then you're just cutting someone's crops, you are destroying someone's shop. So it's very unfortunate that our youths now have been they just continue being used, and they let these leaders use them. So it's very unfortunate, and it impacts us. Especially, we are in Nairobi. We don't have farms here to farm, so we are entirely depending on that farmer who is back in the village.
Back in the village, that's true.
That farmer who is doing a large-scale farmer around Lemuru, but now he has those fears that maybe election violence will erupt. So we are at stake here.
We're the ones at stake.
We are at stake
This
here.
is the Farmers Breakfast Show. And today we're discussing, with the current increase of farm inputs, will we be able to produce food enough come next year? Give us your answer. What do you think? If with the current increase of maybe fertilizer, pesticides, are we going to be able, come next year 2023, are we going to be having enough food to feed the population?
Yes.
You can engage in this conversation. You can comment down on our Facebook page below at Farmers Media. We're also live on YouTube, and you can also engage in this via our social media platforms, Farmers, on both Instagram and Twitter. We'll be taking a very short commercial break. You're coming back to wind up this show and read some of your comments, but we'll be back shortly. I'm Masike Munto.
And I'm Dana Mrega.
We'll be back shortly.
Agriculture is the art and science of cultivating the soil, growing crops, and raising livestock. Agriculture provides most of the world's food and fabrics. It is not only a source of food and income, but also creates employment opportunities for many people in the world. Over 1 billion people worldwide work in agriculture, generating 2.4 trillion for the global economy. The global impact of farming on the environment is revealed that 40% of the Earth's land is now given over to agriculture. Agricultural development is one of the most powerful tools to end extreme poverty, boost shared prosperity, and feed a projected 9.7 billion people by 2050. And we, the Farmers Media, roll the carpet for you as we welcome you to our thrilling farm visits to different farmers that educate and inspire you in different sectors in agriculture. Catch us also on our shows on all our social media platforms as we bring you educative and informative information that will help you learn and guide you on your agriculture journey to success. Our farmers attain knowledge and grow profits. A nursery bed is a small area of a yard or garden that's used for growing certain selected plants. The goal of a nursery bed is to grow young plants to a certain size at which they can be easily transplanted. A nursery bed can also be used to evaluate plants to see if they are worthy of planting in the larger garden, to observe their growth, habit, and color, or watch them for pests and diseases. A nursery bed is especially helpful for vegetable gardeners practicing succession in planting, in which a steady supply of fresh produce is maintained.
Welcome back to the Farmers Breakfast Show. We are lala salam.
Yeah, mwisho ama lala salama.
We are coming towards the end of the show, and we are discussing today with the current increase of farm inputs. We as farmers, will we be able to produce enough food come next year? That's the question we were asking today. That was the
question, yes.
And we have someone here commenting. He's saying that I don't think this is possible because for me this season I'm not going to put anything beneath my soil. I'm not risking it all for me to only produce malnourished crops.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
Is this Chase and then, even if I'm going to plant without this particular fertilizer, what am I going to get, surely? We all know what will do, will happen when we just plant it dry. It won't.
We have another one here is saying that thank you guys for ensuring that we as farmers malalamishi yetu yanasikika. We are really suffering with the prices of fertilizer. I'm also going to plant my crops, but I'm not going to buy fertilizer because the price is too high and the crops are not selling in the market.
Yeah, probably is very right, because with the current situation, the price, okay, even if this one even is trying to maybe plant something
in the soil, yeah.
In the soil. So you can imagine what, of course, the amount he has been harvesting or she has been harvesting will be less than what she'll harvest to come next year. So probability of having low food supply next year will be very high. So people should be really like keen this year to make sure that come next year, the food they can manage on their own, because farmers it's like they're tired. Punda amechoka.
Punda kachoka.
Yes.
So mlazimisha punda kunywa maji. Kama amechoka, you are choke.
So someone is saying, yeah, I'll try to put something in my soil, but again, not this year after the election. Thank you so much. And then another one is saying, when everything settles, maybe I'll think about going back to farming. And then mwingine anasema with the current high farm inputs, farmers will not be able to plant. So next year mjipange.
We have Patrick Mumba. He's very optimistic, saying, I'm very optimistic. I'm hoping that the fertilizer prices are going to go low. But in the meantime, I'm going to plant and try to minimize on the amount of fertilizer I'm going to use in my farm. Patrick, that's very good. At least he has hope. You said you're talking about hope. Hope is everything. Just hoping that things are going to get better. We're just hoping that the fertilizer prices are going to go lower. Not just only the fertilizer prices, but also the food prices.
And then Jude Kevin says, I think the government should just put policies in place to ensure that there's enough food for the country, whether they are importing or whether they are buying from local farmers. They should just make sure that there's enough food in the next year, because most farmers will plant without fertilizer, and this will reflect so badly when it comes to harvest later in the year. So we will not be having a lot of food come next year. We thank you so much, Jude, for your comment.
I'll read another comment here from Jonah Layot. He's saying that no one should at all blame the farmers for the increase of food prices.
That's right.
We are at least trying to sell our crops to the market at a very affordable price despite the prices of fertilizers.
Gatua says it's high time that the government step up their game, lower the farm inputs, and then make sure that the farmer is able to be mentored to plant the correct crops. And then the other one is saying the future of farmer is so uncertain. I don't think I'll be able to do this farming come next year or even this year. So uncertainty is in the air, so people should just take care of themselves. And then Maraguli says the farming inputs is so high, I cannot afford. And when I don't plant, when I'll plant, I think I'll just manage for my family. So unless the prices go lower, we can talk from there. So the key line here probably is like lower farm inputs.
Lower farm inputs.
Yes, lower farm inputs, so that we can be able to manage. And then Karuri says politics is a game of numbers, and wherever we are in the politics is a game of number, and wherever we are in time of election, the numbers tend to slide in one direction. So, like farmers have been left out. No one is talking about farmer. No one is talking about them. So we are not going to plant. Let them eat their politics.
Okay. So we just say that the problem, first we talked about the problem is not the market. Someone said the problem is not the market. The problem is storage. And if the government can actually provide a very ready market, then you're going to solve this problem of storage. Or either way, we can teach farmers, or farmers can learn on how to store their crops properly. But how are you going to store crops if the time of, for example, maize, how are you going to store your maize if the time of harvesting there was some little rains?
Okay.
So how do you do that? You leave it to dry, or what's the solution? Ama, there's no solution.
Actually,
I'm asking you this question because you are from the area where maize is produced in bulk, like where maize is the main crop that you're growing there.
Okay,
right?
so there is this technology whereby you see we get a lot of rotten maize because maybe we are depending on how we going to make that this maize is properly put in a state that can be stored properly. So the machines that have been used, so it's very kuna ile ya inakongoa ikikausha direct. So utapata the same day you have harvested, it is
Your
the
maize,
same day
your
you
maize
have
dried your maize
you
and
have
you've stored them.
and then you have put if it is pesticide and all that the same day, yani venye inatoka hivyo
Kwa shamba.
inaekwa ikikaushwa ikikewa dawa ikikuwa packed the same day. Look at that situation. We'll not have such situation. We'll not have a lot of rotten maize.
So we think farmers should embrace smart farming. Farmers should embrace the new technologies in farming. This way, you're going to experience less losses, and you're going to be able to manage your crops. Like maybe you can put your crops to a period where the market is now. The crops are very demanded in the market.
Yes. I think they should just embrace technology. But again, how are they going to embrace technology? I think
If they're not
that's
gaining
when
any profits for them to buy this, because you're not just embracing technology by word of mouth.
Yeah.
You're going to embrace technology by investing, putting in some money, putting in some coins in these machineries that you're going to use, because technology is the new form of machineries, the new form of technology that has come up. So you need to invest some money in it.
So, do you think the future of farmers is at stake here? Because will we have the same number of farmers doing farming, or probability of these people venturing into other things is very high?
It's very high because you're facing a lot of challenges to the point of you're like saying, hey, liwe liwalo, I'm going to do a different thing.
So you think the future of farmers is uncertain because
of their challenges they're facing currently. And the main challenge, as we were discussing today, is the price of farm inputs.
Yeah. So
and these other challenges, let's say for example ready market, their crops not selling in the market, them selling at a throwaway price, you see. But now the main challenge currently, as we're talking right now, that farmers are facing is the price of farm input.
It's a very high, it's mad high. They can't even afford, and even if they afford, they'll have to use, like if I was using a 50 kg bag in 1 acre, I'll have to use for like 3 acres.
Because
na dondosha tu
kushika tu mimea tu ionje kidogo isikia taka ni kuruza tu harufu pekee ya fertilizer, you see. But now we're calling upon the government first of all to ensure that, to put policies in place that are going to favor farmers.
Yes, that is the most key thing, that the policies should be put in place to ensure that this farmer, that wherever is planting, whatever it's investing, is going to get the output, so that at least he does not have to sell the prices. He doesn't have to sell the food prices at a high price, and then he ends up being blamed because probably that is selling at a high price. When in real sense, we all started this when we did not care what he was going through, when he was going through the planting season with the high cost of seeds, high cost of fertilizer, high cost of pesticide.
You need to find out.
And then when it comes to irrigation, those who are using irrigation, they have to put in a lot
more effort. Again, you have to invest a lot in irrigating your plants. Now this therefore makes a farmer like to be affected mentally. And so now we are urging farmers, if you need to talk to someone, if you need to see someone to talk to, because these are not just light situations, these are not just light challenges that you face, that you're sure that they'll come to pass. You're not sure when these fertilizers are going to reduce, you're not sure when the prices are going to go lower, and therefore it's affecting you. What should you do? I'm a farmer. Fertilizer iko juu. Nafaa kupanda. Watoto wameitwa school fees. Like, what am I supposed to do? You're here telling me like nisikuwe stress. Kama mtu asikwambia hata stress. That was the solution. what as my mental health is at stake. I'm losing it. I'm losing it totally.
Talk to someone, please, farmer. Please. You're
Yeah,
just human.
you're just a normal human being. See
Yeah.
someone, open up to someone, talk to them, and I'm sure they will help.
Yeah, if you're a farmer, you're out there, please talk to your other fellow farmers. The way they're going through, the moment you talk, you'll come up with solutions. So make sure that you just talk. You
Just
don't have
talk
to
it
come
out.
with the solution, but you'll feel better.
You will feel much better
When
in
you meet
mental
other
state.
farmers and then you like, hey, price yako imefika ngapi?
Hey.
Yetu ni 6.
Yeah.
Hata si tuko afadhali. See?
At least you feel like you're doing much better. And remember, a problem shared is a problem halfway solved.
So farmers,
Talk to someone. We really care about you. We really care about your mental health, and we know you are currently you're facing a very tough situation that we can't even finish talking about. But find someone to talk to. Reach out to your fellow farmers. Reach out to someone that you're sure that if I'm going to talk out to this someone, they're going to help. And you're just hoping each and every day. We live by hope, and that these prices are going to go lower.
Yeah, the prices will at least go lower so that we can at least afford this food, because as the prices go up, the amount of salaries are still the same, and some
Your laborers still demand, because I've worked for you. Nimelima shamba.
I don't
What are you
care if
telling me? I don't care if you have sold your products or not.
yeah, mi nimekulimia shamba,
yes.
nimepanda, and you have sold. I don't care if you have sold at the throwaway price. I've done my part. So at least just make sure that you go get help. Like if it's so bad, it's never like. By the way, I advocate for men to cry.
Today Dana is it's Friday, it's Girls' Day, but still Dana is advocating for men to cry.
I advocate
on
for
our
men
next
to
show, we're
cry.
going to discuss on this, but
I think I'll advocate for men to cry. It's okay to cry. Farmers, it's okay to cry, especially when it is raining. Just walk through the rain, and when you'll be
Diana, be serious. What are you telling farmers to do? To go out and walk in the rain and
so that
cry?
when they cry, because they fear crying. Someone told me that they always cry, but when it's raining, so that someone
People
will not
think they've been rained
distinguish.
on. Okay, that's good, Diana.
So
You can tell us the proverb of the day.
okay, before we close up the proverb of the day, it's encouraging farmers like unity is strength, division is weakness. It's when it comes to farming, unity is strength, division is weakness. That is our farmer's proverb of the day. And we, as we had advocated earlier, like
Talk to someone.
well-being of the farmer. Talk to someone. Get in those groups.
Those groups. Your maybe your neighbors. Talk to them. Don't stay alone, or don't suffer alone, because everyone is suffering. So come together and
Suffer together.
Suffer and figure out what you're going to do. Yes,
together. So make sure you talk to someone, make sure you get help, and remember unity is strength, and no man is an island. You're not living in your own. As much as you are going through so much, you are not on your own. Just remember that you are not on your own. Someone is watching over you. Someone is really cares about you. So when you talk, when you open up, when you come together, great things happen. So make sure you just come together. Unity is the most key thing. When you come together, you do a lot of great things.
Yeah, you do a lot of great things when you work together.
Yes, it has been really a pleasure being in the breakfast show.
Yes.
I hope we have fit in Mr. Nasiali's shoes, though it is a bit bigger, so we hope we have fit.
We've
Mr.
tried
Nasiali,
to
thank you
fit
for
in the
giving us
shoe.
this.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for giving us this opportunity to step in for you. You trust us. We really thank you. Let's do this again some other time with Mr. Nasiali or with any other person. Really thank you for tuning in at our Farmers Media. Remember, tomorrow you're having a function here at our Farmers Media.
Courtesy of Farmers Network.
Yeah, courtesy of Farmers Network. We will be teaching farmers that we have a friend to work now by us. A friend
To help
is
us
our
out.
Farmers Network.
A friend in need is a friend indeed. So our friend tomorrow will be the Farmers Network. We urge you, if you are capable or if you are in a position to attend, you can come in, attend. There will be presents, there will be gifts for farmers specifically.
Yes,
and if
gifts.
you have any questions on how to reach us, on how to arrive here, you can call us through our line, which is 0700 293031. Let me repeat that, 0700293031.
Yes, if you want more information about how you can get here in Kitengela along Pinto Road to just see some of the things that you are doing in this farm, in this great farm, so you can always reach us. Come learn with more, come get together with the farmers, know what other farmers are thinking. Tomorrow we'll be having that session, so make sure you come here at around 9 a.m. so that we finish early and then go to Saturday.
Saturday and weekending.
Yeah, weekending, and then is it twinning or queening or kinging?
We'll be queening and kinging,
kinging.
the weekend through till
Yeah.
we see you again on Monday.
Yes, till we see you. Okay, actually, we are hoping to see them
Tomorrow.
Yeah, in the Farmers Network, so that they learn more about the app and then the new friends. So just make sure you pass by. 0700293031 is the number if you need any inquiries. If you have any inquiries, 0700293031 is the number that you can reach us, and make sure that we direct you to here. You can learn so much. Remember to keep it a Farmers Media. Remember to keep it Farmers Media, a Farmers Media in YouTube, in Facebook, African Farmers Club. Remember to be there. Remember to
ask
join.
any questions. If you feel like there's some knowledge you need to share with a farmer, African Farmers Club is the best platform that you have. Maybe you have a new thing that you did and it worked out on you. You can share with your fellow farmers on the African Farmers Club on Facebook.
Remember, we'll always be here for you as a farmer. We'll always work with you. This is a Farmers Media. We learn, connect, and grow. I'm Dana Mdeka.
And I'm Masike Munto.
Bye.
See you again.